In 2020, the Fresh and Fit podcast began in Miami, Florida. But in 2025, things are different. Don't get me wrong, there's still a podcast. We have now seen a split with individual framework. Myron has his individual lane, which he focuses more on geopolitics, the far right, in debates. And Walter Weeks, aka Fresh, is still doing, relationship, dating, fake rich content. And so that's where they differ. He's also considered anti-Semitic. He's pro-Palestine. And on the flip side, Fresh is completely a Zionist, almost like. He really, really supports Israel. He has Jewish friends in Miami. And he didn't like the fact that he got demonetized because of Myron and Fresh and Fit. And he's talked about it.
But you don't like the controversial content that much, huh? Cost money is the problem.
There's no point to it.
Cost money. I mean, it's...
Nigga said there's no point. I'm all for the truth, but reality speaking, once it gets shut down, no one cares.
Yeah, I know it's tough because
they're going to shut you down at some point.
So this is the infamous Jake Shields podcast where, Jake Shields is a white racist, pro-Palestine, just like Myron. And Fresh is like, look, brands don't like it. What's the point of talking about Israel? Nothing's going to change. Like, being anti-Semitic and being disrespectful towards them, it's stupid. I don't dislike Israel. Why are we talking about them? They've already won. That's been his position. I have never heard Fresh talk disrespectful about Israel. I've heard him talk disrespectful about black people. Never heard him talk disrespectful about Israel. So this is something that he's always tried to do, basically being cool with the Jewish community while Myron is not being, all right? And so also Walter has disagreed with, let's say, some of these people who are ultra white Christians. Now again, the conservative right is very, very Christian, and so is Walter. The problem is that the ultra right doesn't want or have spaces for somebody like Myron or Walter. It automatically excludes them, even if Walter doesn't like black Americans or he doesn't want to be seen as a black person. It automatically excludes them from their existence. And so Walter or Fresh argues against this.
But either way, listen, I'm all for you guys having your place, but your utopia of whiteness, it's never gonna happen, my friend.
He's telling a guy on the Twitter space, listen, you guys are fighting for, to keep the country white. You only want whites only. It's never gonna happen. You say you're a Christian. You should be worried about the spiritual realm and not the physical realm. And the reason why he's arguing against that is because the white Christians on the far right have no room for him. So he's trying to fight and say, look, there is never going to be a utopia of whiteness. People like me are not going anywhere. And yes, we still want to date your beautiful white women. Now,
that's kind of weird because Myron is the opposite, though.
Recently, I talked about Myron getting...
he feel how he feel about white girls, but...
kicked out of Amfest.
He's opposite of that.
At least he was kicked out for some of those days. And again, remember, Amfest is owned by Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA has a bunch of Jewish donorship, and I can see why Myron, for the first few days, was not allowed into Amfest, because obviously, look at that content that he does. He's anti-Semitic. He's been somewhat critical of Charlie Kirk, not as critical as Nick Fuentes or some of the other people, but he's had some ideological differences in their framework. But then he was allowed to get in. Now Fresh, who's been...
I thought the nigga was crying when Charlie Kirk died.
Very, very respectful of Jews. And I would have no reason why he would not get along with Turning Point USA. He has done a lot to try to be friendly to Jews. But then I heard that this possibly happened at Amfest.
Another one. Turning Point USA kicked out Walter Weeks of Fresh and Fit. Basically, he's an immigrant from Barbados. They want y'all out. They don't want y'all in. Now, y'all talking about, oh, well, Nikki was up there. Well, they just using Nikki for her money and influence. If she was just Onika from Trinidad, she'll be kicked out too. Access denied. Right? But anyway, they packed him up real quick and got him up out of here. They probably even gave him the CBP home app to return back home, to return back to Barbados, because clearly they don't want them in Turning Point USA, no immigrants allowed, unless you got influence and money.
Now, Amfest is America Fest. Turning Point USA, they have all these big speakers. And it was in Arizona. Nicki Minaj was there. And so Donnie on timeout is saying, hey, you got kicked out. You're an immigrant and they don't want you there. They only want somebody that's an immigrant that got money like Nicki Minaj, right? Okay, cool. So I thought that maybe it was just something that was going around until I saw this video.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. Thanks for being cool. Cool about it, man. Cool. But did it say what I did or something? Or
No, I have nothing.
damn. All right. Well, kicked out. Apparently, I don't know why. But yep. That's crazy, right? What did I do? What the heck?
Nothing.
What did I do, bro?
You got your name. They have your social medias and everything.
So then we go and look at Walter Weeks. I was invited as a VIP for the first time during AmFest, and I spent about 10 minutes there. I was instructed to leave by the police and security. I have to ask, is this how racism feels? There is no justification or explanation. People in the comments started roasting.
Nigga said, is this how it feels?
Maybe it's the content you and Myron put out. You cape for white people on your show and they don't want to be associated with you.
It's tragic.
Solomon Jones, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Now again, people are making fun. Look at Torta. Unacceptable. You deserve an explanation at least. And then they got him being kicked out of AmFest. And again, I just kind of want to talk about this because I want to get back to this thing. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Bro, at this point, man, no community fucks with them. These niggas need to go back where they came from or something, bro. Black America don't fuck with them. Even white America don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Time and time again, they are told by white people that they're not accepted. And in the whites only society or whatever, you guys will not get in. You know what I'm saying? No matter how hard you pander for them, nothing.
That's my legendary solo TV84, the big bro, the person that discovered Fresh and hooked him up with Myron to create Fresh and Fit. And see, let me just tell you about something, man. I've noticed that black people have a disease. And that disease is anything that they build with each other, they don't value it. Okay? They will literally throw it away to be accepted by people who dislike them. I've seen Tommy Sotomayor do that. Tommy was making bukus amounts of money. Didn't care about his black audience. He would do anything to go be accepted by Fox. I will tell you that Tommy is most likely more happy being poor, okay? Getting on Fox every once or twice every 3 years. He's so proud of that. He wasn't proud about what he built within the black community, which gave him ownership, which gave him his own pipeline to his community.
Well, at the end of it all, it just exposes who's fake and who's real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Myron and Walter, them niggas is not real homies like that. They're probably not even day ones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they came about. You see, Walter has his differences about how he feels about the content, and that's one of the reasons why they ended up splitting up for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't see eye to eye on it, it's supposed to be theirs. Myron takes it his way, and Walter is not as entertaining as Myron for sure. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of makes sense, but it's just like when y'all have those differences of opinions, and then it's like y'all took the show from dating and money to now y'all speaking on Palestine or Israel or whatever the fuck. Y'all getting controversy, y'all getting racist, calling people the N-words on there and stuff, and it's like Myron took it that far. Walter didn't necessarily want that. He just played into it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you get.
Which a pipeline that would have continued to deliver him money. A pipeline that would continue to deliver him wealth. Deliver him bounds and bounds of opportunities. He didn't want that. All right? It's the same thing what Myron and Fresh did once they got to Fresh and Fit. They had a black staff for the most part. A lot of black people on there. People was rocking with them. And they wanted to go and be accepted by people who didn't accept them. And when it comes to Fresh, he's always been respectful of the Jews. You saw Myron getting kicked out of AmFest, trying to get in and trying to be associated with them. And again, it's white conservatives, but it's the white right, because you guys have no value there. You don't bring no value there. You only bring.
So why in this clip wasn't they kicked out together though? They went at separate times or something.
Value to things that don't make sense, right? Online drama, online stuff. We talk about like moving policy, like Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj brings real value, real tangible solutions, okay? So they want Nicki Minaj there because she has money. She's also tied in with the Jewish community. You dudes ain't got no money, no infrastructure that they can use. So they don't want your ass there, okay? They already got all the clout that they need. And this is the truth about a lot of the kind of the anti-black establishments, Turning Point USA, Nick Fuentes, things like that. They don't need y'all to tell the truth no more about the black community. They can do that themselves. They don't need y'all no more, okay? So 10 years ago, somebody like Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, yeah, they could have some black conservatives, black sit and all that. They don't need y'all. They got white people who can do it. And then now they don't need you. Why would they
So what the hell was Nicki Minaj doing up there?
have you come do it? They can have Nicki Minaj do it. It's better to get Nicki Minaj. Literally, Turning Point USA is so strong, they can turn you down, the self-made guys who hate blacks, and go get a superstar. And you get somebody like Nicki Minaj, she's trying to change her career anyway. All right? She's trying to get into a whole new realm.
What the fuck is Nicki Minaj got going on, man? We need to do some research on her, bro.
Need you for? All right? Don't need you. They don't need you.
Cause I don't fuck with it. That's Kirk. That's Angela Kirk, whatever the fuck her name is.
You're
Ashley
down bad,
Kirk.
all right? And so you keep going there because you know they don't need you. Now you want to cry racism and white supremacy when that's what you always say that African Americans or black Americans cry. Now here you are crying it because now they don't want to put you into their community. You was already arguing against them, talking about, look, man, that white utopia ain't gonna work. Now you're finding out that white utopia does work. They don't want to deal with y'all. They only want to deal with you if you got something that they can use. And Fresh and Fit don't have anything that they can use. You're worthless to them. You don't bring no value. All you do is bring controversy. You don't bring no money. You don't bring no donorship. You don't bring anything but clout. And once you start dealing with rich white people
And they don't need your clout. They got more clout.
talented Jews or talented groups, they don't need your clout. You don't have more clout than Nicki Minaj. So what can you bring? Get your ass out of here. You should have stayed building up that you understood, and they would have never been able to take it. In fact, then they would be dealing with you because now you have a pipeline to your community. But you ruined your pipeline to the black community because you wanted their pipeline, but they didn't need you for that. It's like a college recruiter. The best college recruiters have pipelines. Look at Frank Wilson at LSU, Ed Orgeron when he was in USC. They have pipelines, talent that keeps delivering at all costs, okay? They established that pipeline. And the reason why college coaches get hired, especially the ones that are really good recruiters, let's say if you're a guy, you're from California region, you get hired at, University of Auburn. Well, you bring with you a California pipeline, all right? And you mix it in with some of the talent that's already there, you can change the program. A good example of that is Kurt Signetti with Indiana. He brings his certain level of pipeline with him, all right? And all of that in his pipeline is his coaching staff, his philosophy. Mike Shanahan, I believe, is one of his coordinators, his defensive coordinator, all there. And then his recruiting people. That changed the program in 2 years. But he built that and he owns that. You don't have no pipeline no more, bruh. You can't influence everybody you trying to influence they already got. So get your ass out of here, dog.
A better example of that would be Deion Sanders, I'd say. I don't know. What Colorado season hitting for? I mean, you talk about a pipeline. That nigga had everybody wanting to go to Colorado and to that HBCU. Jackson State was Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? That's a pipeline for real. You know what I'm saying? But, having a winning team is also means you getting the best players, though. So,
You want to cry racism, white supremacy. They don't care about that. And they ain't even tell you why they kicked you out. Why you kicked me out? It's just get out, bro. But why? They didn't even like you enough after inviting you to even say, we sorry, nothing. They didn't even care. They didn't even care.
They apparently got it. Did y'all actually get invited, though? Or
bro, get your ass out. Don't like you. Ain't worried about you. You're down bad. You got your Negro wake-up call. White folks let you know what happened. And that's it. You did it to yourself. So, guys, what do you think it's your boy?
It looked like everybody got that same lanyard around their neck.
Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Little episode up.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Fresh and Fit, man, they're down bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? They honestly fucked up with when it comes to the black community, bro, because they over here telling black women, having a white man call a black woman and tell her get the F out of here, you stupid N word, and stuff like that, bro. They messed up. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that they can't undo. It didn't. Hey, they standing on business when it come to that, though. At least Myron is, you know. But hell, Fresh be calling niggas monkeys and all type of shit too. You know what I'm saying? So he just as guilty. I mean, you know, you guilty by association, even if you ain't. You know what I'm saying? They down bad, man. They still ain't getting remonetized on YouTube, man, which is tragic. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be on there calling people the N-words like that, bro. That's why you're demonetized, man. You know? Hey, y'all let me know what y'all think, though, man. We on the road to 100K, okay? If you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself. Because that's first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP the name.